What is up, guys? It's Jacob from Quad Hunting, and today is the 4th edition of our college football preview review show. So, let's get going. So this week we will have the normal review preview for Michigan State. We will have Savannah back on this last week, but we will not have Collin or on Notre Dame. We're all college students who all work, so it's kind of hard to get everything lined up every week perfectly. So it's going to kind of be hit or miss. So without further ado, we will get into the MSU analysis first. I'm joined by Colin Bonk, the MSU analyst that we've had all year, and we are going to now recap the Notre Dame MSU game. So Colin, what were your thoughts on the game?
First, I thought we played a pretty good game overall. I mean, obviously the second half got away a little bit, but I really thought the offensive line won the game for us. They, especially in the second quarter, they came out and they were firing off the ball. They were pushing that Notre Dame front back and giving us a lot of room to run.
That was one of your keys to the win too.
Yeah,
and they were actually able to do it, and they won the game.
Yeah, exactly. I was very, I don't want to say surprised, but very, very happy with that, because in the Furman game they looked a little disinterested, and
it was something that worried you a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, because they didn't have that push. It's weird to look better as an offensive line versus a team like Notre Dame than it is like a smaller team like Furman. Yeah. And it's just all motivation, I think. It shows that the talent's there, but we have to get ourselves pumped up for every game, not just the big ones. And also, the defense line did a good job, and the secondary did pretty good, which is one of my other keys, I believe it was. Mm-hmm. They did give up some late pass at big plays and stuff like that, but that was kind of after we called off the dogs and stopped blitzing, because our linebackers were, on the defensive side, I thought our linebackers were very, very good. Especially John Reschke, the 33. He had a very, very good game. I think he was our MSU player of the game, too.
Was there any point when you were nervous during the game about losing it, or when were you pretty confident in the game was over, that you guys had won it? So it's kind of two questions.
Being a Spartan fan, you never really think the game's totally won, especially versus Notre Dame. Especially once the like Mike Tirico was calling the game, started saying like, yeah, they're talking about like next week and how we're 3-0 or 2-0 already, and I'm like, whoa, I don't know about this. Okay, take it easy, guys. But
it makes it a little worrisome when
and then
like being a Lions fan, exactly. Like football is not a game where you're never certain to win.
No, the whole time, me and my dad were saying being a Spartan fan is never easy.
Nope.
It can't be. Same as the Lions. But I just thought D'Antonio got very conservative. Like, he has a tendency to do that anyways, but as soon as we got that big lead, I believe, what was it, 37-7?
Let me pull up the scoring chart.
At the time?
You guys were up 36-7.
36-7. And it's like, whoa, like it looked great. And I thought, wow, we can really make a statement here if we have another good quarter. And a quarter and a half. And the third quarter wasn't quite over when Notre Dame went on their run. But I just thought we just totally fell into I don't want to say a hole. We just slowed down. We put the brakes on. Mm-hmm. We stopped blitzing, which I thought was just dumb. I couldn't believe we did that. And we ran the ball up the middle almost every play. Like, there was no... Our offense became really predictable, and it was easy to stop them. We just watched them go up the middle and get 5 yards on first down every time, but then run 2 more times and, miss a third and, come up short on 3rd and 3. Mm-hmm. And it was really disappointing. Well, I mean, a little bit, but I'm not surprising. Disappointing, but not surprising, because you've seen this out of D'Antonio before. Maybe not quite to this level, but
it's a Lions thing too.
Yeah.
You notice them coast a lot.
Yeah.
Like they get the lead, or they think they're playing good, and then they coast, but more on that later. So now you guys are 2-0, number 12 team in the country. And
8.
Next week.
I believe it's 8 now in the AP.
Oh, well, I'm on ESPN, and it says it's probably 12 last week.
Or that might be their power ratings or whatever. But.
Yeah. Well, anyways, so you're up there in the ratings.
Yeah, we're top 10 now. I know that.
And then now, Wisconsin's coming to town. They had that big game against LSU to open the season, and I haven't really followed them much since.
They struggled last week versus Georgia State. They only won by a touchdown. It was a close game. I watched a very little bit of it, but I knew that it was a close game, which was surprising. And they still haven't named a starting quarterback for Saturday, which, as a State fan, I like to see that.
Yeah, I kind of hate that about Harbaugh. I like to know that kind of stuff, too.
Yeah, because I know they had some controversy going on at Wisconsin because they cannot score. They have big guys in the trenches, but they struggle to score. They struggle in the red zone, and they're just not a prolific offense yet.
So, what are your keys to winning the game?
Again, it's in the trenches, I think. Same as Notre Dame, really. The offensive line, if they can come out and prove that they can push around the other team, we'll be fine. And I think we shouldn't have any real chances of losing if the offensive line can do that. Because that's what makes our team from a good team to a right up there with the Ohio States and the other teams. I don't want to say Michigan yet.
You don't want to say top
it's
tier.
Too early.
Yeah. Yep,
yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
And so, again, trenches. Now, what is your final score for the game? Final score prediction of the game?
24-7.
24-7 MSU. Bring up one thing, Collin, and that was how you and Collin both said, the ACC was pretty much just down to Clemson and Florida State, and how Florida State's only decently hard game left was Louisville, but neither of you thought Louisville had a chance at beating Florida State. Anything you want to say about that now?
Well, I guess I got to own up to that one. I was wrong. I did not think their defense was ready to handle a team like Florida State, but obviously they are geared and ready to go because that game was a train wreck for Florida State. They just got destroyed.
You don't Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, for real. He is super talented, really good with his legs, and has got a decent arm.
No one heard of him before the season started, and now he's a Heisman. Now he's the leading Heisman.
Yeah, and he should be.
He should. He's blowing it up.
Yeah, it was great. Just crazy. You don't see top 5 teams, no matter what. Even though a lot of people don't like early rankings like this, but still, you don't see teams ranked in the top 5 get blown out like that.
Oh, no.
Very rarely.
Louisville's not a bad team, but it's just no one saw that really coming.
No, not at all.
It's not like Michigan, App State. You knew it'd be a little competitive, but you still didn't think Louisville had much of a shot, and they ended up just blowing Florida State out of there, which was kind of cool to see. Kind of was, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Even though they were one of my Final Four teams, Florida State, but not anymore.
Yeah, now that's going to have to be changed up.
Now we'll be moving on to the U of M versus Colorado recap with Savannah Bressman.
By the U of M analyst, Savannah Bressman. Nice to have you back this week, finally.
Sorry.
That was my fault last week.
And everything.
That was my fault, the scheduling. Anyways, so we're now talking about the Colorado game, and it was a little sketchy there early on.
I was really scared, honestly.
I was a little worried going into the second quarter, down 21-7, but Michigan ended up pulling it through and winning 45-28, so it wasn't huge. And I didn't predict it to be like a blowout game. I thought Colorado would play tougher than the other 2 teams we've played this year, but I didn't think it was going to be like this. I didn't think Colorado would jump out that quickly and kind of assert their dominance on us before we turned around and started playing more Michigan football.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, right away, they got the ball, went down and scored. I was like, we're in for a run for our money. I'm like, last time Colorado was in the big house, they upset us, and it's one of the biggest upsets. And I was like, here we are on board for another one of those. And my dad was at the game, and I wanted to text him and be like, you're a bad luck charm. But no, he texted me and he's like, same old Michigan football, right after the first quarter. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Is it Spite? Is that how it is? It's pronounced? I still don't know how it's pronounced.
Playing out of, what do you mean? Oh, Spate. I don't know. I think it's Spate.
Spite,
I've
whatever.
I've always called him Spate.
I feel like he almost was feeling the pressure a little bit from Tom Brady being in the house and being in the presence of one of the greatest quarterbacks by numbers and everything.
That is kind of a big thing, having one of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history, even just to be kind of standing there watching you play.
Yeah, especially with all the hype about this team this year, I feel like he definitely felt worried and like felt the pressure. So and like he could not calm down. Like I think that was his biggest problem is he couldn't calm down. He just couldn't complete his passes to his receivers. He couldn't run his routes. Like I think he was just really, really shaken up and
I think so
everything.
Too. I mean, he didn't have like the first game. He didn't have like a really great game because they didn't need him to. They were relying on the run game. Last game against UCF, he played great. He came out like firing. They were able to stop the run game. This game, he looked more like the first game without like all the touchdowns he threw. He only ended up throwing one touchdown in 229 yards. It's a little worrisome, but at least like now they have more of a balance versus when a couple of years ago, like they can rely now on the run game. Like, pass game's not working,
we'll go
throw the running backs.
Yeah, exactly.
Running backs aren't getting anything. Well, Spate can get it.
Yeah, it's not just all a one-style offense. It's not just we're going to run the run offense or we're going to run the pass offense. It's both.
They can do both. Either or both in one game.
Yeah. Our special teams, though, looked phenomenal again.
Peppers is proving to be one of the best athletes in college football right now.
I'm convinced that he's not human.
I'm starting to wonder.
I'm convinced that he's not human. Harbaugh in a conference Sunday, or I think it was Monday, he said that he has played 11 or 12 positions under Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm. And Harbaugh said when he was interviewed by I don't know if it was on NFL.com. He was interviewed by someone from there, or they picked up an interview that he had done where he said Peppers can play every snap in the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Meaning he can play offense, special teams, and defense.
Oh, yeah. No
Which hasn't been done in years, but it just speaks to how crazy athletic the kid is. I mean, he's about my age, so I can actually call him a kid.
I mean, he's unreal, his athletic abilities.
It's insane.
And I'm so excited to see him in Big Ten conference play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be really excited to see him against our big opponents and in big games.
The only downside is he won't ever win the Heisman.
No.
Because he doesn't play strictly offense.
Yep.
And, I mean, Woodson was able to do it, but Woodson, I think, was almost a tier above Peppers still.
Yeah.
Where Woodson was just a freak. Peppers is a freak. I don't know if he's at the tier of Woodson, though. Where Woodson was getting all the stuff on offense and defense and special teams.
Yeah, for sure. Really, I don't know. I feel like nowadays
it's a quarterback.
It carries a curse with it, I think, nowadays. Because if you look at every single Heisman winner, now, in the past really 7 years, they haven't really done much in the NFL.
Besides Jameis Winston, but the jury's still out on him with being his second year. Menzel. Newton did okay for himself.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of all the other ones real quick off the top of my head, and I can't think of
Did Andrew Luck win it?
No, Luck never won it. No, I think he lost it.
I know he was in the running one year. I know that for sure.
I can't remember who won it that year. I think it was either him. I think it might have been Monty Ball from Wisconsin.
I
think that was that year
Mariota.
He ran. Mariota was up there.
Yeah, he won it.
Yeah, he won it, but he's not. He's all right. He's been okay in the NFL so far. It's only his second year, so same with Winston. But just because you win the Heisman doesn't mean you're gonna do good in the NFL.
Yeah, and just because you don't win the Heisman doesn't mean you're gonna
be bad in the NFL. I mean, you look back. There's actually been more failed NFL former Heisman winners than there have been actual success stories.
Yeah.
So
I think Darbaugh is going to be huge too.
Yeah, he looked pretty good in the game. Jake Butt might end up being one of the better tight ends in the draft if he chooses to go to the draft this year. I don't know is he a junior?
I think he's a senior.
Is he a senior? So yeah, he would go.
But I think he has one more year
of eligibility.
Yeah, I'm not 100%.
I'm gonna have to look on that up for next week. But Butt is looking good. I mean, he's the favorite.
Oh yeah, and I think his only problem right now the only thing that's stopping him from playing a Gronk role in the NFL is his size. Mm-hmm. He's not as big as Gronk, but he's still just as good as an athlete as Gronk is.
Speaking of Patriots, Brady's coming back in a couple weeks.
I know. It's his third game, so there's only
This will
one
be
more game.
his Patriots are playing tonight. Actually,
Yep. They
because
already
it's
kicked
Thursday
off.
when we're recording this. Hopefully, this will be up before Saturday. Hopefully tomorrow night. But moving on to Saturday, they open the Big Ten with Penn State.
Yep.
I haven't really heard much about Penn State.
I watched them last week and I wasn't really impressed, but they came out with the dub. So
Yeah, they're 2-1. We're 3-0, but we've not really played much competition. Colorado's been our most competition, and even though they were up 21-7, we ended up winning 45-28. So it wasn't too much competition there, but I don't know. It just says win to me. It's not like
yeah. I feel like we have like Penn State. They'll always put up the competition. They'll give us a nice run. They'll make us use both. They'll make us utilize our
I don't think this
offense
will be
and
like
stuff.
a 20-point win like we've been accustomed to seeing.
No. But I think we'll definitely come out with the victory. But it's just it might not be as pretty as we've been seeing lately.
Yeah, I can agree with that. At least it's on ABC this week, not on the Big Ten Network.
No.
Because I don't get the Big Ten Network, so.
No, that sucks. I get the Big Ten Network.
So, like I said, I think it's going to be a Michigan win. It won't be as pretty or as comfortable as it has been, but I really would look to see how Spate rebounds this week.
Yes, definitely.
Because I want to see him look more comfortable.
And especially since, I forgot to mention this earlier, it was Tom Brady's first time being back in the big house since he graduated. So I feel like that definitely had a big effect on him too.
Yeah, hopefully he can just like shake it off, move on, and just now be because like I said earlier, it's nice with Michigan having the quarterback or the running backs, but it'd be nice if they could get them both going in the same game.
Yeah, they definitely need to work on that.
That is the one downside I see to Michigan right now.
Yeah, and our defense needs to, our run defense needs to get in shape because I feel like that's where they've been.
Where we're getting beat.
Yep, is the run. Our pass, yes, but our run defense needs to just be hound down even more. Because it's good, obviously. I mean, they put up the numbers and everything, but it just needs to go that one extra step coming into the...
Especially be more dominant.
Especially to make a big, like, what do I want to say?
Statement?
Yeah, a big statement in the first week of Big Ten play.
It'd
be
nice
like, we're for real. Like, we've played these kind of cupcake teams, but we're going to come in here against one of the hardest conferences in college football, especially... I read an article yesterday that said they think the Big Ten East, which Michigan's in, Ohio State's in,
Michigan State's in.
Yeah, and Michigan. I thought I said Michigan State at first, so that's why I was like, wait, did I say them or did I not? But they think that's actually the hardest conference in football right there, and so it'll be nice to see a Big Ten East match up and to just prove that they are good and they're for real this year and they're not just a joke.
All right, I think that's all we got.
Thank you
Michigan
for analysis this week, Savannah. And now we're going to start a new segment, which is going to be where the four of us, when there's four of us, this week there's only three, but when the four of us do our weekly predictions on the three main teams we cover, the U of M, MSU, and Notre Dame. I spaced out there for a second. And then for just for me, we'll add in the Lions game predictions for the week. So starting this week, we're going to start off with the Wisconsin MSU game. Myself personally, I'm going to go MSU.
I'll go with the upset with the Badgers.
MSU.
Now for the Michigan Penn State game, I'm going to go Michigan.
I'm obviously going to have to go with Michigan.
Michigan.
For Duke versus Notre Dame, I'm going to go with Notre Dame.
I'm going to have to say Notre Dame's going to come out with the victory.
Notre Dame.
And for Lions versus Packers, I'm going to go with the Packers.
I hate to go against the blue, but I'm going to definitely say the Packers.
Packers.
So thank you for that this week, you guys. And next week, join us when we are going to be talking about the Penn State, Michigan, the Wisconsin, Michigan State, the Duke, Notre Dame, and we might talk a little bit of the Lions and the Packers in there too, and see where everyone's predictions fell. So if you like the video, leave a like, favorite, subscribe, and I will see you guys all next time. Bye.